Twilight Syndrome. It's an incredibly intriguing series of games that stars young high schoolers as they investigate rumors of paranormal phenomenon. And the rumors are often based on real-life urban legends, and to make things really interesting, the cases that these young people investigate often make them realize things about themselves or involve themselves in some kind of way. And they're incredibly well-told stories that, unlike a lot of other horror games, really nail tension. These games can build up to a confrontation like it's nobody's business, to the point that there is rarely, if any actual supernatural happening appearing on screen. But you feel it, you are right there with the people investigating, and as they get more and more tense, so do you. And that's an incredible feat for games that are just glorified walking simulators. These almost 30-year-old pieces of media do things with storytelling in games that modern games could learn a lot from, and just experiencing them is an event, and an incredibly immersive one. So sit back and relax, and let me explain the plot of Twilight Syndrome, Tansaku-Hen, aka Search. A man is called into a classroom, and here he finds a girl hanging by her neck. 3 girls discuss it, and it's clear that the girl was engaged in an inappropriate relationship with a teacher. Cut to Kari, and we have a parallel. She's talking to a teacher who she herself is in an inappropriate relationship with, and she's sweet-talking him for the keys to the school, which explains why the trio is able to enter it at night and investigate the rumors that they have been investigating. Due to the rumor of the girl and the parallel to Yukari's own situation, she's a bit more enthusiastic about investigating this particular rumor, as she wants to be sure that the hanging was unconnected to the forbidden loving. They head to the school at night and make their way to the music room, where one of them starts to play a tune. And by playing a tune, I mean that the composer for the game recorded one of the presets on his Yamaha keyboard and called it a day. They don't find anything in the music room itself that hints at an affair, but we do learn from Mika that the MF in the MF music room is a dedication to a girl that committed suicide, so it apparently happened some time ago, contrary to what the opening would have us believe. We learn that MF used to communicate with her forbidden lover via the school's intercom system. She would send covert messages that everyone could hear, but that only he could understand, and in the end, that was how he was the one that found her. While in the announcement room, the girls begin to question the logistics of the events, since MF, who killed herself, would have to make the announcement and then sprint to the other end of the school and then hang herself, which is made further unlikely as she had apparently been dead for over 4 hours when the teacher found her. Thinking that MF might have made the announcement as a ghost and that she might have some sort of connection in the afterlife to the announcement system, the girls get the idea to summon her with an announcement, and they make one and head for the music room themselves. Surely enough, as they begin making their way in the direction of the music room, music is heard playing, and this time it's not the Yamaha preset from earlier. That's apparently the only tune that Mika knows despite playing piano, but a more advanced composition. As they make their way towards the sound, they begin to question the whole rumor. Apparently, no one knew about the forbidden relationship until after MF had hung herself. So why hang herself in the first place? If it was due to trouble at home, why do it in the music room at school? As they ponder this, Mika spots a calendar that is still showing the last month. As she yanks off the page thinking it will reveal the current month, there is instead a blank wall, but with scribbles on it. And it's a letter from MF to her teacher. And I guess we get our answer as to why she did it and why there. MF was not right in the head, as children rarely are when pedophiles prey on them. The writing starts off normal enough for a disgusting relationship, and she writes about her affection for the guy and mentions that a new girl started in his class, and her writing quickly becomes more and more jealous until the last third, when it just devolves into scribbles of kill him over and over and over. The girls start arguing about whether or not to stay, since they obviously have an angry spirit on their hands, and then the music from before starts to play, and it freaks them out and they run. In the middle of their frenzy, Mika is separated from the group, and Yukari and Chisato begin to search for her. Shortly after her disappearance, the music starts playing again, and the two remaining girls muster up the courage to go face the spirit in the music room, but when they enter, they see that it's Mika that's playing, which can't be, because Mika only knows the Yamaha preset tone, and she's currently playing the much more advanced composition. She's possessed by the spirit, but not for long, as Chisato successfully pleads with the spirit to release Mika, and she does, and she floats away. Yukari and Chisato chase her and pleads with her to tell them why she still lingers around so that they can help her, and that so she can move on before she becomes an angry spirit. Chisato gets more and more aggressive in her tone, and it obviously upset the spirit, and to the point that Yukari starts to plead with Chisato to stop. Chisato makes Yukari understand that they have to do this, and if they don't, it will only get worse. Yukari understands, and she pleads with the spirit in a way that only someone in the same situation as the spirit could, and it seems to work. Yukari knows it's not over though, and she calls Mr. Okono, MF's forbidden lover and teacher, and pretends to be interested in him romantically, and attempts to lead him on, before mentioning that she could be MF's replacement, which sets him off. She lets him know that she found the literal writing on the wall that proves his guilt, but he doesn't understand how she could, since she erased that himself. But I guess ghosts have their ways. Yukari attempts to get Okono to come to school and apologize to MF, to which he refuses and then hangs up. With no other options, they begin looking for something to wake Mika up with, so that they can get out of here and get home. But then they are interrupted by Okono, who is right behind them. He seems changed. He's angry and dismissive, but in a different way, in a more tormented and less accusatory way. He tells the girls to leave and they comply. Chisato notices that Yukari seems affected by the events that just transpired in a different way than she usually is, almost like she's experiencing the whole thing herself. The next day, they return to the music room and Okono is still there, and he seems to be calm in a way. He says that he felt MF's spirit, but that he was unable to communicate with her, and not knowing what to do, he just started playing her favorite song on the piano, the song that we kept hearing last night, and eventually he felt like her spirit just faded away. He was transferred 2 weeks later, and the accusatory rambling on the wall changed from rambling to just "thank you teacher," which is still gross, but at least she's at peace.